Home of the Brave, Epilogue. 15 months later, a sandstorm passes, the star remains. African proverb. For any of you that are curious, epilogue, so this is after the main story. So this is usually how an author will wrap up all that has been building, a resolution, homecoming. The airplane floats in one by one, but each one is the wrong one, and we wait and wait and wait some more. Gonwar and his new girlfriend, and Dave and my aunt sit on plastic chairs and talk. Hannah stands beside me as we stare out the wall of glass. We know enough to be quiet. In the pocket of Hannah's jeans, I see part of a white envelope covered in curly blue letters. I smile. Hannah carries it with her everywhere, and I know how that is. It's fall, and the trees are wearing red and orange coats to fight the icy nights. I think about the trees, the flowers, the brown grass in the fields. They can all be patient, certain that spring will return, but they don't have to hope. They can be sure. Hope is a thing made only for people. I scrap to hold on to in darkness and light. But hope is hard work. When I was a child, I hoped to fly. That was silly, easy wish. The hopes of a man, and they take much tending. I'm sorry, I missed that whole sentence. Now my wishes are bigger, the hopes of a man, and they take much tending, like seeds in rough sun. Now I hope to make a new life work, to root to this good, hard land forever. At last, the time comes and the door opens and people pour out, but no one is the right one. Who's the one he's looking for? The sun streams through the glass window, red and gold, with the day's last sighs, so bright. I have to shade my eyes. One more person comes out slowly and searching. I see other colors too, then blue and yellow, not the colors of the setting sun, but a flash of something torn from my past. A voice comes, a voice like laughing water on my thirsty heart. My son! And Mama embraces me, like we're saying goodbye instead of hello, and around her neck is a scarf made of the softest fabric of blue and yellow. Blue and yellow. I can't find the words. There are no words, not in my old language, not in my new one. We walk together like one person, her arm tight around my shoulders, and the air is wild with talking and laughter and questions, so many questions, but I don't speak. We reach the silver escalator with its melting stairs. Mama freezes, people grumble and step around her. Oh no, the escalator. I take a breath. I take a step. I hold out my hand. She watches me rise. She takes my hand. And at last, the right words come. Mama, I say, welcome home. That's a lovely, lovely story. Author's note. Somewhere, sometime, as your glorious and complicated life unfolds, you're going to find yourself putting dishes in a washing machine. I'm speaking metaphorically, of course. You won't make the same mistakes Keck makes in Home of the Brave, because your mistakes will be uniquely and wonderfully your own. But you will make them, I promise you. Lots of them someday. You will find yourself adrift in a place where you feel you don't belong. And with people who don't understand who you are, you'll feel alone and lost. And you'll be absolutely certain that you will never, ever belong to the world again. You don't have to be a refugee to feel lost. It happens because we're human and because life has a way of changing the rules when we're not looking. But if you're lucky, someone will reach out a hand when you're most alone and say, I've been lost too. Let me help you find your way home. Home. What a heartbreaking word that is when you don't have one. One of my homes was in Minneapolis. It's a graceful, lovely, welcoming place. but its winters are not for the faint of heart. While I was there, refugees from sub-Saharan Africa were being settled in the city. Every time I stepped into that exquisite, dangerous Minnesota cold, it seemed unimaginable to me that people could move in such an impossibly different place, a place where the words are new and the food is new and the culture is new, and the icicles are most definitely new. But the heart of Minneapolis is warm as its winters are cold. And like so many towns and cities all over the US, it was full of people who found ways to say to those newcomers, "Welcome to our home. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're here." Watching that kindness unfold, I could begin to envision a book about Kek, a refugee from Sudan. And as he evolved, I grew to love him for his courage and his good humor and his essential optimism. I suspect we've become so accustomed to the America as melting pot narrative that we've begun to forget its great power. We conduct acrimonious debates on who gets to come here and who gets to stay. We've reduced a grand idea to quotas and legalisms. In the process, we forget about the real meaning of the grand statue in New York Harbor. We forget that it means to lose your home to war, to lose your family, your very identity. You can think of anything more terrifying and courageous than redefining yourself from scratch. Today, tomorrow, sooner or later, you will meet someone who is lost, just as you yourself have been lost, and as you will be lost again someday. And when that happens, it is your duty to say, "I've been lost too. Let me help you find your way home." Your duty, yes, but your honor too. All right. I lost my place. So I'm going to pick it up right here. Today, tomorrow. Today, tomorrow, sooner or later, you will meet someone who is lost, just as you yourself have been lost and as you will be lost again. And when that happens, it's your duty to say, "I've been lost too. Let me help you find your way home." Your duty, yes, but your honor too. And as you walk together, perhaps you can share a story or two. You'll be surprised at how different your tales are, but you will be even more surprised at how much they are the same. Fiction, it's been said, makes immigrants of us all. But it's just as true that fiction helps us find our place in the world. A good story, well told, is a compass in your pocket, a map to home, a light always glowing in a dark and mysterious harbor. Excellent author's note. All right, guys, that was Home of the Brave by Catherine Applegate.